All right, have at it.
What's the latest with Eric Gentry and Achilles?
Achilles progressing. Excited. He had a good week last week. It was obviously good to be able to not play him, but still be questionable going into this game, as will Eric.
And Eric?
As will Eric, yeah.
Coach, do you have any update on Bear Alexander announcing a red shirt? We see guys in the past stay with your team on scout team. We haven't seen him today. Any update with Bear?
I don't. I think we've said all we'll say on that situation.
Lincoln, how concerned are you with the amount of hits Miller's taken the past couple weeks?
Well, that's just part of playing the position. I'm sure you'd love to leave. You'd love to leave any game with a quarterback not taking any hits, but that's not always reality. We've played two good teams, two good defensive football teams. It's going to happen some. Obviously, it's something we want to continue to clean up, but everybody's involved in that. Schematically we're involved in it. Miller's involved in it. The receivers, the backs, the tight ends, the O-line, obviously everybody. So sometimes you're going to take some hits. When people really try to blitz you a lot, like happened multiple times the other day. Like there's times that they're going to bring more than you can block, and that's part of it. It's part of playing the position. We're not trying to advocate for it, but certainly you can't always completely avoid it.
We've seen Alani and Amos, rotate at right guard obviously last week. How are you feeling about kind of that competition there? Who's standing out to you, and how's Elijah progressing?
Yeah, Alani and Amos both did some really good things in the game. I thought it was good being able to rotate those guys some. Sometimes for young players that haven't played a ton of ball yet, that can be kind of a good segue into the maybe later parts of their careers. They continue to improve. So they both showed us enough that we want to keep repping them. Lonnie's played quite a bit more than Amos has. That was Amos's, some of his first real game action. I think they'll both continue to prove. They're both going to help us. We need both of them to continue to step up. Elijah played much better for us. Did some really good things in the game. Played quite a bit better than the week before, and I think he's just going to continue to grow and learn from him. He's just that type of kid. He's just going to get better and better. It has an incredible ceiling.
Do you expect the rotation to continue at right guard, or are you looking to kind of cement someone there?
Yeah, I don't know that I know right now or necessarily have a preference. It can work both ways. I know we're going to need both those guys. They're two really talented players. They're two guys that are going to really, I think, improve as we go along. They both get a little bit of position flexibility for us. So regardless of how it plays out, whether we keep rotating it or whether we settle in on somebody, it's a long year. It's a physical schedule that we're playing. We're going to need them both either way.
Is Gino an option there, or is he strictly center right now?
No, he's an option. Our options were a little bit limited when we lost Killian, because, we had to pump obviously everything into Gino with him being one snap away from being the starting center. With Killian back now, it does give us a little bit more versatility.
And what went into the decision for Raesjon to redshirt, and how do you feel about the inside linebacker depths?
Yeah, Raesjon's a senior. He's not playing. He's not playing. Significant defensive snaps right now. He's done some really good things. Had a big tough special teams play for us the other day. And he came in. We chatted about it. I understand. You can understand both sides of it. I think it's it'll be something that'll have to be addressed. I think big picture, putting teams, players, all that in these positions. This 4-game redshirt deal is. I think there's probably some better ways to do it than maybe what we're doing it right now. But as long as we have it, you're going to have situations like this, and you understand the push-pull. The kid really wants to play, but he also, wants a chance to play more defensively too. And so, we'll watch it play out. Nothing's set in stone right now. That option's out there, but we'll see how this season evolves and how it evolves for Raesjon.
Is there a better way in your mind?
I think guys should have 5 years. Do whatever you want, play as much as you want or as little as you want, and the only way you get an extra one is if you have 2 season-ending injuries where you miss the whole season. I think that should be that plain and simple and be done, and then nobody have to worry about all this other crap about how many games you played and all that. But I understand why it's there, but I still think it's a little bit behind the times.
Coach, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your concern with the offense starting slow in the games? That game against Wisconsin was the first time this year that you scored on the first drive, going back to Washington. Where's your concern on that one?
We scored a field goal against Utah, I think the first drive. Utah State the first drive. But we played we played decent early against LSU. It's a big time opponent. We drove down and dropped a wide open touchdown pass against Utah State. We didn't play good early against Michigan. We drove down and scored a touchdown the other day. So I think less to me the start of it and more just us being able to sustain it longer. Now we've had a few stretches, but you want to be able to start and sustain it. And if we don't have it, we've got to be able to snap out of it and find it a little bit quicker. So I think more of that than directly beginning, middle, or end of the game.
Has anyone else communicated to you that they intend to redshirt outside of Raesjon?
I think in past couple weeks, seems like Zachariah has just been a little bit more tentative than we usually see from him, kind of in the return game. Just what have you seen, from him there that you're kind of, is there anything that you feel like he needs to kind of get back on track with? How do you feel with him there?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, we thought he made, maybe one decision in the Michigan game where he should have taken it back, or where he should have returned it. The other day's tough. I mean, you play against a rugby kicker that honestly shanked the first ball, and that kind of gets in your head. All of a sudden, the ball goes by and it ends up at the 1 yard line, and that's those guys are difficult to play against for a reason. So, no, I don't see anything that I think he's not doing. We've been really close on some returns. We've had some good returns, really close to having some really, really good ones. And no, he just needs to keep progressing, as do the players around him on those teams.
What has Quentin Joyner shown you so far, and is there anything he can do to work his way into some more reps?
Yeah, I'm sure it is. He's done a good job with the ball in his hands so far. And, one thing we've kind of talked with you guys about, obviously with him, is just continuing to improve without the ball in his hands, which I think our trust in him is growing, because he's always been an explosive natural player with the ball in his hands. And so, I think as this season goes along, you're not going to be able to just sit there and totally rely on one guy every game that much. And so, Quentin, Ryan, Amari, and those guys being able to contribute will be important for us.